Welcome, nerds, to the gaming and tech news for the week. This is a clip that has been taken out of the main show, The Week in Nerddom, which goes up on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. In gaming and tech, we like to talk about, well, you know, gaming and tech, trailers, announcements for new tech and games and consoles and everything in between that is gaming and or tech related. So this week in gaming and tech, all of this stuff happened. Let's move now into gaming and tech. First up, we have some follow-ups for gaming and tech and one correction because I was a dumbass in the last episode. Starting things off, Hogwarts Legacy, this is just an update. It has surpassed $1.1 billion in sales. It's only been out for 3 months. That is a huge achievement. Congratulations to everybody associated with the creation of this game. To certain degrees, everybody through the creation of the content in which that it was based upon, word salad. But yeah, so that's pretty awesome. Congratulations. Moving on. Next is Starfield. Update on this game. We just got the ESRB rating. Some really interesting stuff in there as far as why it's mature rated, but as we all expected, it's mature rated. The big thing that has the community up in arms is the in-game purchases portion of the ESRB rating. That doesn't necessarily denote microtransactions. Granted, we are in current year, and that is kind of the state of the gaming industry, and they are owned now by Microsoft, so probably there is a good reason to believe there will be some form of microtransactions in very likely cosmetic aspects of the game. Nothing that's going to exactly change the gameplay, though with Bethesda, we have had in previous games, we have had DLC that quantified as in-game purchases. So it could just be the DLC. It could just be the expansions that they're referring to. Again, not super likely because Microsoft 2023, so forth and so on. So yeah, that's it. I don't think there's really that much to worry about unless you really are a completionist and you need to have everything associated with certain games or certain developers or what have you. Then yeah, it's really probably going to be a minimal impact unless you want to get the DLC, which most of us will. That being said, that's what we've got there. And then our correction for gaming and tech has to do with Street Fighter 6. So previously, the last episode actually very specifically, I said I was going to go download the demo for Street Fighter 6 and made it the gaming and tech suggestion for the episode. Because I misread the announcement, it was not an open beta, it was a closed beta for the demo. So you had to have an invite, and I couldn't find an invite, and I got egg on my face. I'm owning it. I apologize. There is an update for this as well. The open beta, the actual open beta is going to be May 19th through the 21st. So the weekend next week, it will only be for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. So if you are working on older hardware like I am still, unfortunately, you will not be able to engage in the beta, but reportedly, it is still going to be launching on the older hardware, so crossing my fingers that I don't have to update my Xbox just yet. That is everything we have there. Let's move into regular ass news for gaming and tech. No trailers, no exceptional other things. So, first things first, let's talk about this Twitter situation, shall we? Twitter is going full platform. They have gone full platform, and they're headed in a very interesting direction. So the announcement for this came through an announcement for a show that was going to be happening on said Twitter platform. Tucker Carlson is going exclusive to Twitter. So the details still very much remain to be seen exactly how this is going to work, how you are going to be able to have a creator account. Because as it stands right now, if you don't do Twitter Blue, if you don't pay them the $8 a month, then you're capped at about 2 minutes and I think it's 20 seconds for video. And, you know, vertical video is kind of enforced, not necessarily enforced, but encouraged. Let's say encouraged. Vertical video is encouraged because, generally speaking, people digest Twitter content on their cell phone. So vertical is basically the best way to do it. But it seems that with Tucker's video a couple weeks ago, and then the announcement for this, or last week, I guess, he's done everything in the horizontal video, and it seems that maybe now that they're turning full platform, we should be expecting actually some visual changes to the layout of Twitter. Very likely even changes with the way that they present things on a PC situation inside of a PC environment. So that's going to be interesting watching those changes, but also like, do you have to pay Twitter Blue to create content that is then going to bring in ad revenue, so then they pay you back? Details, like I said, are very, very scarce. This is the first actual show that is being announced for Twitter. So as things roll out with Tucker, we will probably be getting a lot more updates to this. Also, should be worth noted that Elon Musk very explicitly has said that there will not be any special privileges given to Tucker or anyone who creates on this platform. Everyone will still be subject to the issues that we've talked about previously as far as content and going against community guidelines and so on and so forth. So if things in any of the shows, Tucker included, are found to be misinformation or purposefully wrong or harmful or against the law in some sort of way, then they will still be subject to the reprimands associated therein. So, very interesting. He's also called out that other creators, specifically he wants creators from the opposite ideology of Tucker Carlson. So in America, that would be the American left. And he wants as many different voices on his platform as possible. So again, very interesting situation with this. We will be keeping tabs. That's what we've got there, though. Let's move over. Then we have a gaming news piece as well. There is a new game that is coming to Steam called 100 Acre Wood. Previously, we've talked about the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie. Watched it, it was not terrible, as not great as it was. It also wasn't terrible, but that's a whole different thing. We now have a new horror franchise, or a new horror IP, I guess, dealing with Winnie the Pooh. It's a video game. It's a first-person shooter. The premise for the game is really interesting because it has nothing to do with Blood and Honey, aside from the fact that it's horror-themed. But Winnie the Pooh and apparently all of the animals in the 100 Acre Wood, so Piglet, the owl, Kanga, I have them written down and I'm not seeing them. Eeyore is going to be included in this, and Rabbit, and I already said Piglet. All right, so all of those characters, and including Pooh, have been twisted by some otherworldly power, as quoted from the developers. Otherworldly power, and has changed them into eldritch terrors to some degree, but only Winnie the Pooh is evil because apparently the player is going to get aid from the other characters, i.e. Eeyore, Piglet, etc., etc. Still no Tigger associated with this. No Tigger in the movie, no Tigger in this game. Very interesting. Maybe Tigger is a Disney creation that is not yet in public domain. I don't know that because I didn't do the research and I apologize. But this is going to be, again, the premise is the player is trying to save Christopher Robin, ostensibly from Winnie the Pooh, and you get help from the other characters in the 100 Acre Wood to that end. I'm very intrigued. I didn't see any system specs or anything just yet. I don't think they have officially announced the release date for this yet, just the fact that they are currently working on it. So as more comes out, we will be keeping you updated on this. That is what we got for Gaming and Tech, except for suggestions, just because Bethesda is great, and this is one of the only other franchises I spend any significant amount of time in. Fallout 4 is our suggestion for this week. I realize Fallout 4 is a little bit divisive in the Bethesda fan community, but Fallout 4 is also the only, well, and 76, I guess, technically speaking, but Fallout 4 is the first, and I feel like in some ways superior way to build developments in the Fallout universe. And that is what I've had this game since about a week after it launched. Still have never finished the main story. So yeah, get lost in Fallout 4, go build some settlements, go save some settlers, and do the thing, because that is your gaming and tech suggestion for the week. Once again, this is just the gaming and tech section. It is a shortened piece of the much longer news show that I do over on youtube.com/generallynerdy, which is the main channel. There's a lot more music and comic books and movies and TV shows, etc., that can be found over there on the regular show. Thank you for joining me here, though, nerds. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.